Hi, I just drew a simple little box structure here and put a window and a door in. I've been piddling around to see what could be done in Pro. There's additional choices in Premiere, Chief Premiere that make this easier, but it still can be done in Pro. What I'm going to do is just place a soffit from Cabinet Tools. Going to put it in the vicinity and then do an elevation camera. Okay, there's a soffit. So if I wanted a solder course over this door, well, number one, I would open the door and do a little programming. In masonry or stone, you're not going to use a 3.5-inch casing. You're going to use a 1 7/8 inch brick mold. So we'll change the, bit a little. Let me put that back to where it was. I want to change the exterior casing to 1 7/8. Okay. And on the options tab, okay. In older versions, you'd have to do this manually, but it looks like it's already been done. Because I used a masonry wall, the door is recessed and is attached to the wood framing and not attached directly to the masonry. That may, in the UK, that might be different, but in most places in the US and Canada, you would put doors and windows and attach them to the wood framing. Okay. Now the next step is just take this soffit, kind of get it over in the vicinity of a solder course, and we'll open it. And we want the height to emulate a solder course, so it's 8 inches. About. It could be whatever you say it is. The depth, excuse me, is going to be about 2 inches. 2 inches of reveal past the surface of the wall, of the brick wall. Okay, and then we'll just take this and stretch it out. Get that a little bit closer. Like that. Now, click on that. I think the material that I have here on the wall is red brick 6 or something like that. Let's see what it is. Red 5 brick. Okay. So we want something similar for the solder course. So I'm going to open that, go to the materials tab of the soffit, and select material. And I'm going to look in, excuse me, masonry and stone, brick, natural brick. And I think let's see, that's red 1, red 2. There it is, there. I think that's what I've got here, red 5. So I'm going to set this course to the soffit. Now you can see I've got a little stretch line down here at the bottom. It's not a stretch line, it's a pattern line. I don't want that. So I'm going to open, excuse me, I'm going to use the material adjust tool, tricolor, and see there's where that other line's coming from. So I'm going to change the pattern to just strip. See, it's set to tile. In this case I don't want tile because I want a soldier course looking thing. So I'm going to change it to strip. Of course it's going the wrong way, but that's alright. We'll move it 90 degrees. And then over on the general tab, we'll make sure that the height emulates the width of a brick at 3 inches. And I need to check that in both, where's the camera tools? I don't use Pro all the time, so I'm trying to find the, there it is, rendering techniques. When you change a material, you have to change it in both camera modes. So I've still got the line in this camera mode. Excuse me. It looks fine in vector view, but so what could I do? I'm going to use the adjust tool and go over to the texture part, and I'm going to make the Y scale a little higher. That's this way. Let's see if that helps. Now that made it worse. Okay. Let's go smaller then. No, that's not helping. Okay, let's reverse these figures. Let's make that 6 and this 30. No, that's not what we want. We'll leave that 30. Okay, that's better. I just didn't want a line where the line was showing. It's a little more realistic. Okay, now for the window, excuse me. For you guys that complain about my throat clearing, you know, I could either stop clearing my throat and choke to death, or clear my throat every now and then. And if it's annoying to you, I'm sorry. But it's the old 68-year-old body that I'm stuck with, and best I can do with it. Okay, we'll open the window dialog box. I'm going to do the same, pretty much the same thing to the window that I did to the door. We'll change the casing exterior wise. A lot of times on brick windows, I'll just turn the casing off. And I'm going to turn, in this case, the sill off as well, and the apron. Now, for a soldier course for the window, I'll just copy this over. We'll move that down over the window. Line that up. It's a little bit hard to see. That's better. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. Now for the brick ledge, there's no really way to do this in a shaped way in Pro, so I'm just going to copy this straight down. Now a soldier course, of course, would only be about three inches tall. So I'm going to change the height from 8 to 3. And we'll move that up. Line it up with the bottom, where the sill would be. Well, that's ugly, isn't it? So I'm going to change the, well, if I change this material, I'll change the other material. So I think what I'm going to do is open this object, go to the Materials tab, and I got this material here. Let's see. Oh, you can't make a copy of it in Pro? That sucks. Ah, here we go. I had to find it in Plan Materials. Now I can copy it, and now it'll be called Red 5 Coarse Brick Copy. And I can alter this material and not alter the other material, because now they're two different materials. You get why I did that? If I altered this one where it sat, I would alter the other one, which I already altered the way I wanted it. So I want this divorced from its original uh, pattern name, material name, so that I can do this. Okay, I stretched it to 30/30. Let's see. I'm going to go back to, okay, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to change the XY. See, here's the offset angle. I'm going to change the offset by 6 inches in the Y-axis. Well, that didn't do anything. Let's try 12. Okay, that's the wrong axis then. And you notice there's one of these for each one. Now I won't have to alter the pattern because that's just a continuous stripe, but for this, okay, I'm going to set that back to 0 because that was doing nothing. And it's probably, these are reversed because I reversed the orientation of the material. Okay, that made a change, but not the change I want. I want to get rid of this line here. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to change the angle. No, that made it worse. We'll put that back where it was. That didn't seem to make any difference. I want to move that line about 3 inches up. You just move it. We'll set it to 4 and see what that. Bingo. Okay. I don't do this all the time, but you know it's not rocket science. So we got a soldier, but the bottom's going to stick out more than a soldier course. I've got it set to depth to 2 inches. Let's make it 4 inches. Now, it's not going to show up in this view. Well, let's check this out in some isometric cameras. That's not bad. It's not tilted like you would really ideally want it. In cheap Premiere, you can do that quite successfully, but for Pro, this is perfectly workable. See, I've got it recessed. There's the brick ledge. Not perfect, but anybody would look at that and say, oh yeah, okay, that's a brick ledge. Normally you would see that tilted so that it wouldn't, so it would shed rain or precipitation more readily, but this is what I offer to you in terms of this is what you can do in Pro. If somebody else can come up with a more workable idea, that's fine. But using soffits and sizing them and placing them is a way to accomplish that. If you had a stone wall, then you would just use stone turned this way, and for the soldier course, use stone turned 90 degrees. And it works okay. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.